Now to a consumer first alert out of Waupaca. The police department warning about organized panhandling rings using young children to get your cash. Officers say they were called to a local business Monday after reports of adults asking for money with a small child. We've been hearing more reports about panhandling over the last month or so. And Waupaca police and other agencies across central and northeast Wisconsin say in many cases this is not a local family in crisis, but organized groups traveling from city to city holding signs about food, rent, or medical bills, and they often set up in busy store parking lots or along the road. Police say these groups may be dropped off and picked up by drivers who move them from location to location. They say if you want to help people who are struggling, officers recommend giving to trusted local groups like foundations and other well-known charities that provide food, shelter, and financial help. And of course, if you see something that doesn't look right, especially if a child seems at risk, you want to call police or call 911 if it's an emergency.
New Day